Great. It's Kristen Clark from ageofthemarried.com. So thank you so much for taking a couple minutes to speak with us.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
can you start out and tell us like what first attracted you to this project? Were you a collector of bear bricks at all?
I was not. I was familiar with them. I had seen them before and thought they were really cool and interesting, but it wasn't something that I was personally collecting or super engaged with at the time. But when DreamWorks came to me and said, "Hey, we have, this property, but we're not sure what to do. What would you do with it?" There were just some elements of it that felt ripe for an interesting story with a really interesting theme. And so I really jumped on. And then, of course, once I was involved, I started to, one, see them everywhere, and two, get a little bit deeper into seeing all the different designs and amazing collaborations that they have been doing over the years.
Oh, absolutely. So what I love so much about the message in the series is about, creating your own destiny and future. And, how important is that for like young viewers, and their families to keep in mind? Because I think it's something really positive right now.
Yeah, that was really my goal with this was to have something to say and a message wrapped in a story that was also really fun and didn't feel preachy, but just you could enjoy watching it as well. And I think we do live in a time where a lot of pressure is put on kids. One, to know exactly who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do for the rest of their lives when they're little, or pressure from their family, like everybody in our family is an athlete, but you want to be an artist, or everybody in our family is an artist and you want to be an athlete. And so, really encouraging people to be supportive of kids to pursue their passions. And encouraging kids to recognize that they have a voice and are empowered to speak up and say this is what I'm really interested in and who I want to be.
Oh, 100%. And, I look at music as a universal language that we can all speak and understand, even if we take different messages away. It speaks to us in some way. And I know music is like a very big thread throughout this series. I'm working with Timbaland and everything. How does it, in what ways does music speak to you? Were there any challenges with that? Like what went into that creative process?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big music fan in general and have, all the way from when I was younger to today, have been moved by music, inspired by music, made my own music. And I do think, in saying it's an international language, it's something that travels across the world. And I think it's such a powerful way to get an idea across because you're drawn in such a completely different way than you are in other forms of media. That you're dancing to something, but you're also getting a nice, empowering idea as well.
Oh, 100%. So what was one of the biggest challenges you faced working on the series? Was there anything with the voice actor, anything you wanted it to make in that didn't make the cut or,
I mean, yeah,
designing?
there's always going to be jokes or things that
Yeah.
you only have so much real estate to use. But I think we had such a talented cast and crew that were so ready to bring their A game every day. That there's always challenges anytime you're making a show. It's you're moving pretty quickly. Is a big part of it. You have to make decisions quickly and all of that. But it any challenges that came along, it was actually fun to figure out how to solve them. I actually kind of enjoy when something pops up and you have to like creatively think about, okay, well, we can't do that, but what are we going to do instead? And how does it actually at the end of the day feel like, oh, I wish we'd made that choice in the
Yeah.
first place, that all those decisions feel like they actually plus the story.
Absolutely. So are we going to see any tie-ins with any exclusive toys with the series or anything like that? I know that there was probably a lot of endless like d design choices to choose from with what, made the cut for the series.
We did spend quite a bit of time on the designs for the brushstrokes, what they would wear when they were painted into their band. That was a lot of discussion because we knew that needed to be pretty special and iconic. As far as the toy play, that is no question I'm able to answer.
Okay.
I'm just responsible for making the characters for the show and the series itself.
Absolutely. And if you could dream up your own design for what would your bear brick look like?
Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. I mean, I think I would want one. I think I'd want one that looked like me, or maybe a couple that looked like me in different eras. I would kind of Taylor Swift it, I guess.
I like it. I like
And
it.
have, one of what I looked like, how I dressed in high school and how I dressed in college and how, and the different things I pursued during my life.
Do like a little bit of a
That'd be pretty fun.
generational
Yeah, I
appeal.
think
So
that would
that's
be pretty
great.
fun, actually.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes out to speak
Oh,
with
yeah,
me.
my
Like, I
pleasure.
think that everyone's gonna love this series. It's just adorable. Like, it's
Oh,
great.
thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon.